I would never again stand on a wedding platform with another woman or another man. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to break my word in the most honorable way, surrounded by my favorite people. Catherine and Greg would also like to thank all of you friends and family for traveling across the country just to be on time to your first doctor's appointment with Dr. Zhu and Dr. Lam. It is an especially special day for the parents of the bride, Yoon Zhu and Sharon Wang, and the mother of the groom, Lorraine Lam. Though Greg's father passed away several years ago, I'm sure that the sight of his son marrying the love of his life, while being surrounded by so many friends and family, would have been one of the proudest moments of his life. Many of you know Catherine, and many of you know Greg, but some of you may not know the full story of how they came to be. Catherine and Greg first met at UC Berkeley, where they took a class filled with romance, luck, and destiny. This class was Biology 1B. This class did 3 things that no other matchmaker could ever hope to do. It randomly assigned them to the same lab group so that they could meet for the very first time. It ensured that they had to stay together through an entire semester while studying. And finally, Biology 1B took them on a field trip to the location of one of their early first date spots, UC Berkeley Botanical Gardens. A place that they would eventually come full circle to, because Greg decided to propose to Catherine at that very spot where they had first started it all. For those of you who are still single, please be sure to sign up for Biology 1B. Greg and Catherine offer a money-back guarantee. However, Catherine and Greg's relationship, like all good love stories, had an antagonist. This antagonist was named long distance. UC Berkeley would bring them together, but med school would separate them to 2 completely different coasts. Over 4 years, they would only see each other 3 to 4 times every year. And the time zones and long clinical hours would make even regular contact difficult. But in great food, bitterness and sourness help accentuate sweetness. In great families, self-sacrifice and tough love build unbreakable family bonds. In great relationships, surviving the hard times gives you the confidence that you can be anything that the future has to hold. And making it through together makes your success all the sweeter. The great news is that after traveling this long and difficult path, Greg and Catherine both matched to their top choice of residency at UCLA, fulfilling the promise that they made at the beginning of med school to end up together, back in California. Now, many of you who have known Catherine and Greg for most of their lives may be wondering who this stranger is performing the ceremony. My name is not Biology 1B, so let me explain how I know these 2 wonderful people. I first met Catherine, her maid of honor Tiffany, and her bridesmaid Quinan at UC Berkeley, where we practiced Taekwondo together. For those of you who haven't had any experience with Taekwondo, it's a sport where your best friend is defined by the person you have kicked the most. Needless to say, Catherine must have kicked Greg more than anyone here today. Describing Catherine and why she's such an amazing individual is a job that I alone can't even begin to tackle. So I asked Catherine's friends to help. My background is in statistics and in public health, and when scientists want to understand and describe something, they ask a bunch of people the same question. Then they wait for response saturation. If something is very simple to describe, everyone gives the same answer, and you reach saturation very quickly. However, if something is complex, it takes a long time before anyone gives the same answer. I think that it's very telling that when asked to describe Catherine using 3 words, none of her friends used the same word twice. Catherine is independent, outgoing, shy, bold, and intelligent. She's pretty, has a fun personality, and a beautiful smile. She's chill, passionate, creative, determined, responsible, and nerdy. She is so many different things to all of us, but the one word that we can all agree on is friend. We've laughed together, we've cried together, and distance hasn't kept us apart. Catherine is a loyal friend, and that's the one quality that I value most in a person. A special girl like Catherine deserves more than just a wonderful man. She deserves some wonderful in-laws. I first met Jameson, Greg's brother, when I was working at Kaiser 5 years ago. Because I'm really bad with names, the first two thoughts I had when we first met was, great, a name that I'll never forget, and any family that names their son after a classy Irish whiskey can't be bad people. Soon after, I had the privilege to meet Greg at a Christmas party, and I had to come up with a way to remember his name as well. After talking with him and spending the evening hanging out with him, I realized why his parents named him Greg. Some people present a facade, and you can tell that they're trying to be on their best behavior, and they're trying to make a really good impression in front of people that they've never met before. But Greg wasn't like that. I knew within 5 minutes that he was honestly an easygoing, genuine guy whom I felt comfortable with immediately. I remembered Greg's name because he was gregarious and great. So why was I chosen to stand here before you all? Years of friendship, but years of physical abuse. True friendship with no abuse. The real reason why I'm up here right now, up here right in the middle, was because I was the only one out of all of you who couldn't pick a side to sit on. Honestly though, I'm not sure why some of you haven't chosen to sit in the aisle. These two are perfectly a wonderful match, and it comes as no surprise that they are finally getting married today. A good marriage is built on the foundation of a power commitment that two people make to one another. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. And it is giving each other an atmosphere in which each other can grow. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner. The road that has brought Catherine and Greg here today hasn't been easy. It has been filled with challenges that they weren't necessarily prepared for. But together, they've taken each other on and have used these experiences to strengthen, not weaken, their love. Today, the two of you declare your commitment to each other before family and friends. Your yesterdays were the path to this moment, and your journey to a future of togetherness becomes a little clearer with each new day. And now, the couple would like to exchange their vows.